Motivators. There's only two, in fact, three genuine motivators that are going to allow someone to refer you. Because that's all networking is. It's referrals. If you meet someone for the first time, we've just explained, you have to pay for it, you have to introduce yourself. Don't waste the person's time. Make sure you stroke their ego with your questions. Validate yourself while also allowing them to validate themselves so they're happy being the dominant person, being Mr. Important. Those are the key things. Most networking is going to come from referrals. Someone is going to recommend you. So look at me here. You know who I am. I have access to the president's son. Why do I not recommend you to the president's son? Well, the reason for that is, one, because I'm putting my reputation on the line. And two, the other three motivators have not been fulfilled. So there's three motivators. I'm only going to recommend you to somebody else, the president's son or anyone, for A, money, B, because I really like you, or C, because it raises my status. So these are the only three motivators that are going to take someone and make them put conscious effort into taking one of their relationships and sharing it with you. So we'll talk about the first one, money. It's very easy to go through the world and think, oh, I've got the people and I promise them they'll make lots of money and everyone's going to network with me because I've got this great business, da 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 da. It's all bullshit because one, your great business is not nearly as great as you think it is. Two, telling people about your great business, most people don't give a shit and most people aren't going to believe in you. I mean, the thing is about businesses, none of them are really that sexy. Starbucks is a coffee shop. If you were to walk around and say, oh, I'm going to start this coffee shop, people would be like, oh, whatever. Now it's successful. It's a successful business. But before it started, if you were walking around trying to pitch it to people, trying to network, and we're going to have this coffee shop, we're going to sell carrot cake, no one's going to give a fuck. No one's going to be interested. So business ideas are really not that sexy to talk about. Even though you think they are, they're not. And the ones that are usually complicated and different, and you got to have someone's attention, and they have to trust you and know who you are as a person to really take you seriously. So money is quite a difficult one, because if you think you're just going to go and email me now and say, Tate, I have an idea. And if you introduce me to the president and he buys it, and I'll give you 25%, I'm not going to recommend it. So money is actually one of the things that probably becomes later on. People have to trust you first, they have to know you first, they have to like you first, and then you can add in a monetary motivation. If I've done business with you for 4 or 5 years and I know you very well and I know you're competent, I know you don't make mistakes, you don't fuck up, I know I can trust you, I know that if I recommend you, you're not going to embarrass me, and then you say, look, do you know any people who could achieve X, Y, and Z because that would allow me to make X amount of money and you're going to get a percent of it, then you can motivate me with money. So that's the monetary motivation. Next is because I really like you. This can happen. You can be liked by important people, and if you're liked by important people, you're gonna be invited places by important people, and you'll be introduced to other important people. Being liked is a skill within itself. I've just basically explained to you how to be liked by important people. It is as simple as that. You validate yourself while allowing them to talk about themselves, because important people love themselves. Because important people have spent a lot of time and energy and effort in building themselves. Unless you're born important, which a few are, morons. In general, important people have put in a lot of work to becoming themselves. And even if they haven't put in a lot of work, they think they have. Look at fucking Pitbull, the worst singer in the world. A loser, basically. But if you were to ask him how he got there, how did you become a famous recording artist? Do you think he'd say luck, or would he say, oh, I just really worked at it? People believe they work hard. Everyone likes to believe that their success is down to work and nothing to do with luck. So everyone who's important believes they're a hard worker. So with this in mind, they are egotistical. So you have to stroke that ego because they've spent a long time building themselves up. But you have to do it in a way that you don't embarrass yourself. This is nuance. I can't teach you this. This is something that's going to take some skill. Get the body language course, it's going to help. It's going to certainly help you. But secondly, it's going to take some skill. I gave you one example earlier. Validate yourself while also asking them questions. Make sure you look like you're paying attention. Try and be a little bit witty, a little bit funny. And just validate yourself and use your own personality. I can't give you my personality. But when I met important people, the conversations were always free-flowing. They always went well. I always validated myself while allowing them to talk and allowing them to basically stroke their own ego because they love themselves. And there's nothing wrong with them loving themselves. There's nothing wrong with it at all. 2 examples. We'll use me as an example. I'm not even that important. Anyway, if you were to email me and say, Tate, teach me how to punch. I'll give you, and then I'm going to fight and I'll give you a percent. I'm trying to motivate me with money. It's bullshit. If you were to message me and say, Tate, I've watched your videos and I genuinely believe you're the best striker there's ever been. But then you have to validate yourself. You have to say, I've been training for 10 or 12 years and I really enjoy it, but there's some things you do that I can't quite do. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions. That, one, validates you, two, strokes my ego, and you're far more likely to get a reply than if you just emailed me, teach me how to punch, or teach me how to punch for money. Because it's making me like you. This is an important thing. And thirdly is status. If in certain situations, especially if you're a cool enough dude, as I am, people who may have high-level connections will feel more comfortable or feel like it's going to raise their status if they introduce you to their connections. And this is going to happen as you elevate. This is not going to happen at the bottom, but as you elevate, this is going to happen. So with me, for example, now, because I've got some money, because I've got some nice cars, because I'm always with hot girls, there's people who think, this guy's in town, and I'm going to go meet him at the club. You know what? I'm going to bring Tate, because if I bring Tate, I roll up in a Lambo, and there's going to be 10 chicks with us. So he's using me to raise his status than just going on his own. And that's fine, because I'm using him to meet the dude. So if you start becoming important yourself, you're going to have people who use you to raise their status, and that happens. So those are the three motivators: status, money, and because people like you. Now you're only going to be able to pull off any of these three, either status, people liking you, or even money, if you have genuine relationships with people. The idea of walking through a business conference with your business card. Hi, here's my card. I do accounting. I'm an accountant. I'm the best accountant. I'm a really good accountant. I guarantee I'll save you money. Yeah, here's an accountant. Hi, I'm a really good accountant. Yeah, you might get some, it's basically cold calling. You might get some calls. I'm not saying it's a completely terrible idea. It's better than doing nothing. But that's not nearly as effective as building a genuine relationship with somebody. You already know this. You know that if you were to go around that conference, take a little bit more time with each individual person, make them like you, make them remember you, that's the key to it. And once you have that connection, then you have to nurture it. Look at email marketing. Email marketing does this perfectly. You sign up to an email list to try and sell you something, you ignore it. Another email to try and sell you something, you ignore it. If they keep trying to sell you things every day, you unsubscribe. If they tell you things of value, a long email, a story, something to make you laugh, something that's funny, etc., going on and on and on, and then eventually try and sell you something again, you might buy it. That's nurturing a relationship, and it's exactly the same with networking. So if I have some very important friends, and I'll message them now and again. These are not, I say friends, is the wrong word. I know some important people, and I may not speak to them for 2 or 3 months at a time. But I will consciously, I have a list of people I know who are important, a list of people I know who are high value, and I'll consciously contact them with things I believe might be relevant. So I'll give you, I'm not going to, like we said earlier in the course, most people don't give away everyone they know. I've only told you about the people I have pictures with. There's a whole bunch of other people I know who I'm not going to tell you about. But let me give you an example. Let's say I know somebody who's a multimillionaire in England and they do business in Europe. So I will literally each month go through my list of people who I know are high value and I want to stay in touch with, and I'll see that person and I'll Google up something about Brexit exports, and I'll email them the link and say, hey, you might find this interesting, don't know if this affects you. I'll be back in the country in a few weeks, maybe we should catch up then. So I provided value. It's not just me trying to get something from him, not just, hey, can we have a coffee? I provided him some value, I've sent him a link. He's probably already seen the link, he probably doesn't care about the link, but it's the gesture. Oh, it's something about Brexit, maybe that does affect him. Or even if it doesn't affect them all, he'll reply, no, we've got all that handled actually, thanks. Yeah, Andrew, be good to see you. That's a perfect example of how I'm adding value. It's not just a matter of, hey, can I talk to you? Hey, can I talk to you? Hey, can I talk to you? No one wants that, because if you keep doing that, hey, can I talk to you? You're not adding any value at any point. You become annoying. Important people are busy. So you have to add some value in your correspondence with them. They're extremely busy people. So that's a little example of what you'll do. So I guarantee you sitting here right now, if I were to tell you to make a list of the 5 richest people you know, you probably know 5 people who are quite well off. You probably know a few millionaires. But how often do you interact with them? And when you interact with them, do you provide them any value in your interactions? Because if you start to do that, they're going to start to like you more. And they're certainly going to start to trust you more. And it's going to display competence. And let's take a completely random example. Let's say you know a baker who has 6 or 7 bakery shops. and he's making some good money. It's 6, 7 bakery shops, whatever. And you send him an article on the cake that won Cake of the Year. There's all this shit's off the top of my head. Say, hey man, you think you could, hey, I just saw this. Do you think you could even bake something like this? Just about one Cake of the Year. It was really good promotion for them. Maybe you should do something like this, and just send it to them straight away. When they reply to you, oh yeah, and they're gonna sit there and think, oh, this dude's thinking about producing business for me. This guy's thinking about raising my profile. He's asking questions. He's doing things. He's giving me some value. He's giving me some ideas. So then, let's say that bakery company decides it wants to up its marketing. You're gonna cross their mind. Oh, that dude, he emailed me about replicating Cake of the Year or trying to enter Cake of the Year. That guy, yeah, we want a marketing strategy. And he's been emailing me on and off every couple of months, not annoying me, every couple of months for like 6, 7 months now. He had a few good ideas. Let's bring him in for a meeting. Bam. So you've gone from knowing a baker to now going and sitting in a meeting with a baker. And that baker is looking to make more money. And you can sit there and go, I can guarantee you I'll double your money. I guarantee you I'll double your money. As long as I get X amount of money, or I get a company car, or I get this percent, whatever, I'm guaranteeing you I will double your money. That's how networking's done. It's not about knowing the baker. It's about building a relationship with that baker of value so that they trust you and that they like you and that you prove yourself competent. This is the same with everything. Most people go through life never proving themselves competent at anything. And I mean this. When I meet people, I'm never late. I'm early. Of course, you have to be early. I make sure I pay, like I've said before, I make sure I pay for the bill. I make sure I don't look tired. I make sure I never complain about my problems. Hey Tate, how are you? Yeah, I'm really good. Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, the traffic was a mess. Dude doesn't give a fuck. Guy doesn't care. Oh, I'm tired. I was out last night. Yeah, I'm really good. Because people want positivity in their lives. If you're really good, they want to be really good. Why are you really good? Maybe they want to know more about you. This person is really good. Well, I want to be really good. What they say good for. You have to display competence. You have to display the attributes that people want to connect with. And these are always positive attributes. You know what they are. Not just about being rich. It's about being a positive person, living a happy life. These are things that have to appear effortless. When you go and you sit down at a table and you're happy and you're smiling and you're positive and you have this aura of competence about you, you're going to have people who want to do business with you. And the baker example is a perfect example because I guarantee you all know people right now. Let's say you work a normal job. Let's say you're a fucking truck driver. You know your boss. You know the boss of the trucking company. There's nothing. He's worth shitloads of money. What's stopping you Googling up a whole bunch of stuff about trucking, or Googling up the biggest trucking companies in the world, how they advertise, or Googling what they do, and just emailing them saying, hey, I was reading this last night, you might find this interesting, and building a closer relationship with your boss, or the richest person you know. Nothing's stopping you doing that. You need to build value, they need to believe you're competent, and need to learn to trust you. So, action list. Make a list of the most important people or most rich people you know. Start finding a way to provide them value without annoying them. Get some money together so that you can be at the right place at the right time. That's the beginning.